Yo, this is a message for the CEO of Binance and FTX. Guys, fix your beef. Come on, you guys were buddies. Don't fight each other. You are making the fucking market red. Think of the kids.
Two of the crypto industry's biggest players, FTX and Binance, are having a rather public spat right now, and the market certainly does not like it. The question now being posed is FTX insolvent, and will there be more blood? In this video, we're going to take a look at what has happened and where are we going next in this saga. Like and subscribe, let's dive on in. So you've probably seen headlines like this: open interest in FTT futures doubles as Binance moves to liquidate the FTX token holdings. So previously, Binance was a major investor in FTX at a very early stage back in 2019 with a plan of nurturing this to be some kind of symbiotic relationship between the two exchanges. But it seems like the gamesmanship of Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX have not been content with a slice of the pie but want the whole damn thing. So now we have two industry titans battling it out here. But what have been the main issues? So last week, per a CoinDesk article, the balance sheet of Alameda Research was leaked. Alameda Research is a research firm and market maker previously headed up by Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX. Now there's major blurred lines between these two organizations, Alameda and FTX, but it seems like both of these are very much reliant upon one another. Now in this balance sheet here, Alameda Research has $14.6 billion of assets, $8 billion of liabilities. But on the asset side here, they have $3.66 billion worth of FTT token, $2.16 billion of FTT and other crypto collateral, and $3.37 billion of crypto, $134 million in US dollars, and $2 billion in equity securities. And as Dylan LeClaire points out, most of their equity is tied up in illiquid altcoins. So for those unaware, FTT is the token issued by FTX for discounts on exchange fees. The total market cap of FTT is $3.35 billion, and the fully diluted market cap $8.8 billion. So he says if you sell $1 million of FTT, you're going to significantly move the price. So having it listed as an asset worth $3.66 billion on the balance sheet doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, in a rather public rebuttal, Caroline, who is the CEO of Alameda Research, said this: a few notes on the balance sheet info that has been circulating. This specific balance sheet is for a subset of corporate entities. We have over 10 billion of assets that aren't reflected in this. So pretty much saying this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is not the full balance sheet of Alameda. Now, in terms of insolvency talk here, it's hard to see how they have all these assets on hand due to the fact most of them are locked. So for example, they list $290 million worth of Solana tokens. Fair enough, those are unlocked, but 863 million of locked SOL as part of their assets. These are essentially not worth very much as they are not circulating and thus cannot be sold. And if you've seen the playbook for Alameda back last year when Solana was doing quite well, a load of the new Solana protocols were invested in heavily by FTX, by Alameda, names such as Oxy, Feeder, and Maps here, all launching with incredibly large, fully diluted valuations, a low number of circulating tokens, and charts that seem to just go down only. One in particular, Oxy, is a rather egregious one here. Market cap just $8 million, but a fully diluted valuation of almost $500 million. Just 202 million tokens in circulation out of a full maximum supply of 10 billion, i.e. inflation like Zimbabwe. So when you have these types of high FDV bags, what is the playbook here? Well, Tracy Wang of CoinDesk posted this. So if you're Alameda, how do you get maximum utility out of these bags? And the hint, it's not to actually dump them. Selling in size would be a surefire way to tank the price, and it's not a great look as this is the ecosystem Sam & Co are publicly backing, plus huge amounts are still locked. But instead, she says, Alameda can borrow against their bags for cash. This is supported by the balance sheet, which says 2.1 billion of FTT and other tokens were being used as collateral. As of 30th of June 2022, Alameda had 7.4 billion in loans and less than that amount pledged as collateral. So her guess is Alameda probably at one point had 10 bill in loans, which were collateralized or under collateralized by their FTT and Solana bags. With ample cash, Alameda can then make the real easy money strategy, farming DeFi protocols and deploying billions of dollars into whatever other strategies they want to run. So a kind of flywheel, if you will, of borrowing huge sums of money against locked bags of tokens, utilizing the FTX exchange. Most of these tokens had perps listed, they could hedge their positions, and there seem to be plenty of firms out there willing to loan to Alameda with these questionable collaterals because it seems to be the same playbook. The reputation goes before before them. Sam's been on Forbes, has a reported net worth individually of over $10 billion. I mean, what could go wrong? So enter the stage here, Mr. CZ, Binance Exchange CEO. So he said this as part of Binance's exit from FTX equity last year. So they had equity and tokens. Binance received roughly 2.1 billion USD equivalent in cash, BUSD and FTT. But due to recent revelations that have come to light, i.e. that balance sheet, we've decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on our books. So this on the 6th of November, Binance publicly announcing they're going to be selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of FTT tokens in what he quotes as a way that minimizes market impact. So this would be him TWAPing out of that position because due to market conditions and limited liquidity, we expect this will take a few months to complete. Binance has always encouraged collaboration between industry players, and regarding any speculation as to whether this is a move against a competitor, it is not, he says. And in a rather gripping sentence, our industry is in its nascency, and every time a project publicly fails, it hurts every user and every platform. Is he hinting at the potential for FTX or Alameda to be insolvent or go under? So this brings us to the tweet that maybe broke the camel's back. So Sam tweeted this on the 30th of October. At CZ Binance, excited to see him repping the industry in DC going forward. He is allowed to go to DC, right? A rather backhanded statement there, and this is around the time frame where DeFi and regulation was the hot topic of discussion, with Sam apparently doing his best for the industry, or was he? Because a lot of things then came out that he was actually trying to destroy cryptocurrency, if you believe BitBoy. A lot of people have lost trust in him over the last few weeks, as he pretty much wanted DeFi to have KYC enforceable for everybody. So within the last 24 hours, SBF tweeting here, a competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors. FTX is fine, assets are fine, the details below. So he's puffing out his chest here and saying, look, everything is cool. FTX has enough to cover all client holdings, and we don't invest client assets, not even the treasuries, and we've been processing all withdrawals and will continue to be doing so. Withdrawals are slow at this moment in time due to a few reasons that they go to in this tweet thread, but he says we are audited and have over $1 billion in cash on hand. He then finishes up with, I'd love it if CZ and I could work together for the ecosystem. So it feels a little bit like a game of Monopoly being played here, and Binance certainly seem to have the upper hand right about now. Flood Capital posted this. CZ is attacking by dumping FTT and trying to get people to pile on. Remember, there's perp contracts for the FTT token over on Binance, as well as FTX's home ground as well. Smart move trying to squeeze some of Alameda's borrowing and collateralized positions, making them of course weaker in the industry right now. He says, will this work? Alameda can probably absorb a lot of the selling themselves, and there are at least some interest in the FTT token. But remember, they will have to defend both on spot and perps. Then almost in a Game of Thrones-esque tweet here, DB to CZ, do you plan on taking Alameda up on their offer to close your position OTC? So the tweet behind this was Caroline of Alameda saying, we'll buy all of the FTT that Binance has right here, right now for $22, but they got radio silence from CZ. He said, let's just let the market do it. But in response to this, he posted, will they buy the FTT back for $580 million worth of BNB, i.e. come and buy my bags, bitch. So two whales fighting it out here. This leaves us with a pretty dreary crypto industry this morning. FTT down 22%, Bitcoin down 5%, ETH down 6%, Sol down 11%, Serum down 8%, and that is the FTT chart right about now, dropped off a cliff as they stopped defending the $22 line in the sand there. If we just go down, you can see there is a big buy wall positioned here at $14 for the FTT token, over 10.2 million tokens ready to be bought at that line in the sand. Maybe this has some significance for liquidations for Alameda's book, and all we can do now is just watch this play out and see if this line in the sand here does hold. If you enjoyed this one, please share the video, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.